another brand new week of trading. We're coming down to the finale, the 2019 end before we cross over to 2020. So I'm definitely looking to make some good money right here on this final week and a half of trading, right? So we have this whole entire week. This is a whole entire full week, which is from the 16th to the 20th. Next week, we have a half day on Tuesday, off on Wednesday. Following week, same exact thing. Half day on Tuesday, off day on Wednesday. So next, 2 weeks after this week are going to be a little weird just because in the middle of the week we have a half day, and then on Wednesday we have off for Christmas. Then the following one we have New Year's Eve, and then we have off for New Year's. So it is going to be a little bit interesting to see, how the volume's going to be, what press releases are going to come out moving into 2020, what's going to be, going on, right? So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to be coming on up. I'm excited to see, what we're going to be trading. I'm excited to see what sort of breakouts are going to be happening. But again, it could all start right now. Today could be another supernova day, right? Probably over the past month and a half, right? Over the past month and a half, we had October be decent. November got extremely hot, as it usually does. And December, has been solid so far with a couple big press releases or a couple big spikes and then a couple little ones as well. Probably the best month we have seen so far has been November. So November was probably the best month we've seen so far. December has been solid. There's been a couple good ones. But nothing like we saw in November so far. So I'm definitely hoping we get a couple more, big time spikes. And again, November was hard to match. We had, I think, $300 spikers, stocks that went all the way up to $100, right? So so far we've seen a couple good rips, some $10 plus plays. But I want something that's life changing again. I want something that's going to go insane. I want to see something that's going to be wild, right? Our last wild play last week was LMPX, as LMPX has gone from $5 and spiked all the way up towards around $45. So LMPX has been a very big play. LMPX has been taking off in a very strong manner. Nearly every single day that stock has been going green. We're going to talk about that play a little bit more we're going to talk about that play a little bit more after I go over the morning newsletter. But this is one, right? Another new IPO with BILL. This could be one that could get hot today at maybe a $50 break, right? We got AXSM today. That one could possibly get hot today. And we have, previous top gainers and any low float stocks that, want to start making some sort of move. So first things first, guys, let's go over our morning newsletter, right? Let's see what we have today. So everyone should be having our morning newsletter. This should be in your email inbox. Make sure you guys check out your email inbox. If it's not there, make sure you check your junk and spam mail. If it's not there, hit up one-on-one support chat, bottom right-hand corner, and they can help you. All right? So let's go over this, guys. Good morning. Happy Monday. Get excited, stand up, and get ready to rock as we are about to kick off another brand new week of trading. I know once that Friday bell rings, we are hoping the weekend flies by so we can get back to trading. It's time. We have a decent pre-market this morning, but we're definitely still looking for that mob play, right? If we do get any hot big PRs today, watch the previous top gainers, or excuse me, if we do not get any sort of those big hot press releases today, watch the previous top gainers. They will be where most traders will run to. Let's have an awesome full week ahead. So, what we have right now, we definitely want to keep our eyes peeled on these gap ups. We want to go over all the hot press releases we're currently seeing. But if we don't like anything that we're seeing on the gap up board, if we're not liking anything that, is starting to get, attention, it has a little bit of a gap up towards it, but we're not just 100% feeling it, we may want to look at previous top gainers as that's where traders like to go to, right? That's kind of the schedule. The schedule, when people wake up is like press releases, high of the day momentum scanner, then it's previous top gainers. And basically that's how like the mob works its way through. So we always want to look at, the top gainers, look at the high of the day momentum scanner, then look at those previous day top gainers to see if anything takes on off. We just got to be ready for it. But we'll go over everything just so you're 100% prepared. All right. Let's talk about the market briefing this morning. All right. Though Friday's gains are small following the announcement of the Phase 1 China trade deal, market sentiment is decidedly positive. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq are coming off record closing highs, with the S&P 500 chalking up its third straight weekly gain. The Dow, S&P 500, and Nasdaq all have 3-day win streaks, with US stock futures pointing to more gains at the Monday open. And with the end of the year approaching, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq continue on pace for their largest gain since 2013. All right, so again, one of the best years we have seen since 2013 on the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. So the markets have been doing pretty amazing, right? If we take a look over here on the SPY over the past year, this has been one of the best years we have seen. We are consistently just going higher and higher and higher. Last year, again, kicking off the year. Last year, kicking off the year, where were we? We were at 267. Last year, kicking off the year, we were at 267. Now, we're all the way up at 319. So that's a big year for the SPY. It's a very big year for the SPY, continuing out the bullish run, right? Continuing out the bull run. We're moving on to about 11 years now of positivity in the markets, which is the longest we have ever seen in history. Let's keep going with this. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer said on Sunday the Phase 1 U.S.-China trade deal reached on Friday. It's totally done, and it will nearly double U.S. exports to China over the next 2 years. A critical point of the deal that remains in question is agricultural purchases. So that's something that we still need to be cleared up on. And that was a huge thing. Agricultural purchases. China, does not want to really buy agriculture from the United States. But right now we did make a phase deal, phase 1 trade deal. Now again we could start progressing on the phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Actually start getting the actual trade agreement done. As we talked about last week, phase 1 doesn't really do anything for the actual deal. Phase 1 is basically just getting back to even, getting back to where we started, as we added all those tariffs. So again, phase 1 kind of just puts us back to even, and now we can progress from there. So that's what we have right now over on the SPY, China trade talks, everything along those lines. All right. Now, what do we have for actual press releases today? For actual press releases, what should we be getting involved with? What stocks are we going to be playing today? What should we hop in on? Well, we do have a nice little list of press releases right here, but a lot of these stocks aren't amazing press releases. All right, let's work our way down from top to bottom, best plays of the day, and work our way down from there. All right, so what do we have? Number 1, MIRM. Okay, MIRM. This is a 39% gap up. This is 4 million in float currently. It is the number 1 top gainer at this moment. And we could see MIRM is a little bit light in volume, right? There's a lot of dashed lines right here. Well, what's going on with MIRM? Why did this stock go from $8 up towards around $11.59, right? So MIRM had a press release this morning that says it completes successful pre-NDA meeting with the FDA. Now, this is good, right? It's a solid press release. It's not anything amazing, right? We look at our keywords to look for a hot press release. 2-star word, right, is completes. So we have a 2-star word right here, which is completes. Out of keywords, look for a hot press release. We also have the word successful, right? Successful is a 3-star word. So completes, successful, right? NDA meeting with the FDA. Again, FDA, 2-star word. And what that bringing in right now, what's that bringing in is we have a couple 2-star words, a couple 3-star words, and that's bringing in a little bit of attention, a little bit of volume, a little bit of hype, right? I'll post this keywords list just so you guys have it. I know most of you guys already do, but again, that's what we're always looking for. We're always looking for keywords, look for in hot press releases. And right here, again, we do have a few. But is MIRM talking about having amazing results? Are they talking about having anything insane like that? No, they're saying they're successful completing a meeting. If you want to think about it in the most basic terms, imagine again, everyone walks into a boardroom meeting area. They sit down at a table, they talk about things, they get up and leave. Completing a meeting isn't really the most amazing press release. Everyone walks in the same room, you sit down, someone talks about something. After that, 10 minutes later, everyone gets up and leaves, right? So is that the biggest press release in the world? Not really. But we are seeing MIRM get some hype from it. Now, MIRM, this is a 4 million in float stock. It's currently the #1 top gainer and is starting to get some action towards it. MIRM, I believe, is a previous spiker. No, right now, MIRM. Let me look over on. Let me look back at this on StockCharts.com because Trade Ideas is having it as a newer play. I don't believe it's a newer play, but let me see. Yeah, MIRM does go back in the past. I always like to double check that over on StockCharts.com, but it only goes back towards about August. So it really has never been above like $15. So MIRM, this is a play that is rather new, so this is correct right here on Trade Ideas. And if this thing ever, did start spiking, maybe above $15, MIRM could catch fire, right? MIRM could catch fire. It's never been above that $15 mark before. I think the record highs right here is right around that like 15.50 mark. It is a 4 million in float stock. So one of the good things about it is that it is, one of those newer IPO plays. And what have we been loving so much about those new IPO plays? We've been loving so much that once they break a new high, right? Once they break a new high, they could just keep going and going and going as there's nothing there to really stop it, right? So MIRM, maybe it could get some crazy hype today. Maybe it could get some momentum today. Maybe it could, take on off into turning something big. It's a 4 million in float stock coming up towards new 52-week highs. Never been that high. Could be something that could be huge. Absolutely. Right? So MIRM, something we need to watch out. Speaking of new IPOs, as you guys know, LMPX has been a new play that we've been watching. LMPX, that was a stock that went from $5, spiked all the way up to $45 last week. Right now, LMPX did go from $45 to falling all the way back on down towards around $28. That is a pretty strong drop, right? That's about a $17 fall right there, which is pretty large. So LMPX, do I want to watch this play today? Yes, I want to watch it, but I do feel like it may be coming down to its first red candle today. And why do I say that? We just had a lot of selling towards it. $17 worth of selling, right? So LMPX going from $5 to $45, that's a massive climb, right? Having a $17 pullback, is almost giving back a little bit, a little bit more than 40%, right around there. So LMPX, I just think maybe we could be seeing our first red candle today. It definitely could have potential for a little bit of a bounce. The big area it needs to get above is going to be that $30 mark. And if you guys just look in pre-market and after hours, you could see $30 is a really tough area. Okay. Do I think it's going to touch $30? Yes, I do. I think LMPX is going to run up, hit $30, maybe break it for a moment. So if you're looking for something right at the bell, I do think LMPX is going to look for a quick break above $30. And that's where, again, you could make some quick money if you just want to hop in now, maybe put a limit order at like $31 to sell, right? I do think that's a very strong possibility. But, keep that one on watch in case that can happen. LMPX, definitely something we still want to watch today, even though I do think that new IPO is slowing down. Another new IPO that's been picking on up is BILL. BILL. This one, if we look at BILL, this one started at the price of $37, fell down towards around the price of $34, and then again yesterday, or excuse me, on Friday, started moving all the way up towards around $40 now. So BILL could be one that could start getting some activity. BILL could be a new IPO that could start getting hot. This one could be like an LMPX. This one could break 40, 50, 60, 70, right? Could definitely heat up very quickly. So we want to be ready on this play. If we're taking a look on BILL, it is a new IPO play. The float is 15 million. So it's a 15 million in float play. So we have BIL, 2 days old float, MIRM, about a 5-month-old play, but again, a lower float. And then LMPX, this is about a week-long old play. And LMPX's float is, I believe, 3 million. So we got a 3 million in float play over on LMPX. So it kind of comes down, which one maybe you guys like the best, right? So, which one you guys may like the best, if that's MIRM, if that's BILL, or if that's AXSM, on maybe, again, plays that could definitely pick up really quickly. All right, well, what else do we have for penny stocks? RGLS. RGLS, just looking at pre-market right here, you can see that this stock has given a lot back. Whenever you see a play like this that usually spikes and give a lot back, it rarely brings in volume. And why does it rarely bring in volume in the actual day? Well, because look what happened. It gave everything back. A lot of people don't like to be touching those plays. So if we take a look over at RGLS right here, we can see this did come out and announces FDA removal of a partial clinical hold. So whenever we have a hold on something, guys, it means we can't use it. If our funds are holded, if anything is on hold, we can't do it, we can't use it. So when we get a removal of that hold, right? That's when we could start seeing activity. So RGLS did have removal of that hold, which is why it went on that quick pop. But again, it's not the strongest press release in the world. It's not saying again we released this hold and we came out with positive results. We released this hold and it brought in a 100% increase in revenues, right? We didn't see that. So RGLS, awesome move, awesome spike, but it gave everything back because it really wasn't that strong. So number 2 top gainer, we'll keep it on watch, but again, not really too hot right now. SIF, 4 million in float play right now. So SIF, 4 million in float play. Not really much volume at this time. SIF did come out with an earnings report. So SIF earnings report right here. And we have reported on Monday a net income of $2.4 million after reporting a loss in the same period of that year. So we basically went on SIF from a loss to making $2.4 million. So that's very good to see. Let's see right here. For net sales increased 2.1%. Increase 1.1%. So again, an increase of 1%, not anything too crazy. SIF just 4 million in float play could get wild. And again, whenever we see these stocks, we talked about this a lot last week, right? When we see stocks with a lower volume, and we see a lot of activity move in on these plays, that's where things could get crazy. Like SIF right here has an average volume of 2,970 shares. That's not really that much, right? So that could be 1 or 2 people honestly playing that play. So if we have 10,000, 20,000 shares, 100,000 shares move in on SIF, things could get possibly pretty hot on that play, especially with the stock again being what? 2 million in float. 2 million in float play. Not too much else is going on. Stock is having a little bit of a gap up right here, putting SIF on the map. This stock could possibly get hot today. This stock could possibly get some momentum towards it today. Could catch some fire. So let's keep our eyes peeled on SIF, to see if SIF can maybe start getting any sort of attention. ONVO had a merger this morning. Stock gapped up. After a hold, it came spiked on up, came crashing on down. Kind of same exact thought process. If you see a stock spike and give everything back, it usually does not bring in as much volume. And it's the same exact thing with like ONVO. Stock, gapped on up, spiked, came crashing on down. So it usually does not bring in as much volume, as much hype. All right. CEI, I'm going to switch the daily chart right now on CEI from a daily chart to a 60-minute chart. It just shows us over the past week and a half, or actually shows us a little bit more than that. It shows us from the 16th all the way down to November 22nd. So it actually shows us like the last like 2.5 to 3 weeks. So over the last 2.5, 3 weeks, you could see CEI did go on a pop. The main area you want to get up and above is 250 to start, and then that $3 would be that top area. So again, if you can get above 250, we can see CEI start getting some activity, and then break of $3 is where things would get a lot hotter, right? That's where you see a lot of momentum, where you see a lot of activity. So CEI, keeping that one on watch, absolutely, in case we start seeing any sort of crazy momentum, and we start seeing any sort of crazy hype towards it. That was a previous top gainer of last week, and that is why it could possibly get some attention towards it as well. So right now it's 9:23. Out of everything we talked about, let's just review it so far. We talked about what? MIRM is a newerish IPO. What do I mean by a newerish IPO? The stock was first released back in July. The stock is having a gap up towards around $12. If it could ever break through $15 and start hitting brand new 52-week highs, the sky's the limit. It's only 4 million in float. Things could be moving fast on it. MIRM could be getting very hot. All right. Speaking of new IPOs, LMPX was probably the best climber last week, where LMPX went from $5 to $45. starting to have a little bit of a pullback right now. All right. What other play do we have that's a newer IPO? BILL. BILL. This is stock has only been available for about 2 days. BILL about 15 million in float, but this stock could start getting a little bit of hype and start getting a little bit of attention towards it. I'm kind of ignoring RGLS and ONVO as they both spiked and gave a lot back. CEI is one I want to watch out for, as that's a previous top gainer of last week. And I also want to keep my eyes peeled over on SIF, as this is a 4 million float play. Does have a nice little squeeze pattern on the daily chart. And we'll see if we can break through that 200-day moving average, which we have, and now start bringing a little bit of attention. The best press release we have today, if you're saying, Deck, what's the best press release we have today? What's the stock that has the best potential to kind of be consistent for me, right? Because I know right now we're looking at a lot of kind of risky plays. The best, most consistent play I'm seeing right now would be AXSM. And AXSM, the only reason we haven't talked about it yet is just because it's a little bit pricier. But at the same time, if you guys have funds or even can pick up a few shares, AXSM may be one you want to look out for. This is textbook, as you guys know, as basically one of the best press releases you can find, right? AXSM announces that it has achieved, right? Keyword, achieves or achievement. Primary endpoints, 4-star word right there. On phase 3 trials, 3-star word right there, right? Statistically significant, 3-star word. Improvement, 3-star word, right? Demonstrated, 3-star word. So we have announced, we have achieved primary endpoints in phase 3. We demonstrated significant improvements. And that's why AXSM has gapped up from $43 upwards of $85. So that's been a huge gap, and that's been an awesome play. The only reason, again, it's not on the up gapper list is just because that stock is all the way up at $85 at this point. So is it a good play? Absolutely. Is it one you want to look out for? Absolutely. It is just a little bit more pricier, so you're going to need funds. If you guys don't have funds, you're going to want to be looking at MIRM. You're going to want to be looking at SIF. You're going to want to be looking at CEI. You're going to want to be looking at all the IPOs, LMPIX, BILL, or that MIRM play. So let's take a chat vote. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and we'll be all set. So we'll go with what stock will do the best today. So what stock's going to do the best today? Is it going to be AXSM, the big $85 stock, but again, does have positive phase 3? Is it going to be MIRM, stock that came out in July, right? Doesn't have a big press release this morning, but hey, you know what? 4 million float stock could catch some fire. MIRM, the press release that came out, was that it completed its meeting, right? Is it going to be SIF, right? 4 million in float play doesn't really get that much volume towards it. So if volume ever did move in on this thing could possibly go crazy. 4 million in float, stock could again get really hot really quickly. Could it be CEI, a stock that spiked up to $3 last week? Spiked up to $3 last week, break of $3 this week, things get really, really crazy. Is it going to be last week's play of LMPX, right? LMPX, where LMPX was a stock that ran about $40 last week. Could that one get hot? But again, it did give back about $17 on Friday afternoon. Or is going to be another IPO, BILL, which has a little bit of a potential towards it. So we do have some options today, right? What stock's going to do the best today? Let's see what you guys are thinking. Let's see what you guys are looking at. So everyone go ahead, cast your vote. I'm going to type this out for us against stocks to watch at the bell. So we're all ready to go. And now again, now we have a nice little list, stocks to focus on, stocks that we should be looking at right here. Stocks to look at. All right, so let's see what's going to be coming out. Yep, again, always switch that TD Ameritrade TIF today. You guys know it. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what you guys are going to think right here. I'm going to throw up our new scanners right now. But it's Monday. It's time to get excited, team. It's time to get fired up. It's time to get ready to rock. Brand new week ahead. Let's get to it. So let's see what you guys are thinking. Cast your vote in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what everyone is looking at right here. So we have AXSM and CEI with actually a tie. So we have AXSM right here as the number 1 and CEI as the number 2 with actually a tie. Okay, so you guys are saying go with the big boy and CEI, previous top gainer of last week. No one's given, SIF, too much love. No one's really given MIRM too much love. Some of you guys not really looking at LMPX anymore. All right, let's see what we get here, guys. I'm going to be watching the high of the day momentum scanner, and I just want to see what stocks, could possibly start getting a little bit of momentum towards them. Which ones are going to start getting some height towards them, some volume. Right now, AXSM, the market is open. We are live, and we are ready to rock and roll today. Let's see where this volume's going to be heading. Right now, we are seeing SIF getting a little bit of hype. SIF already getting a little bit of hype. That was a stock that's only gets 2,000 shares per day usually. Right now, it's already above that, 2,000 shares per day. SIF, starting to pick up right now as that stock's coming up towards around that $4 area. So SIF starting to come up towards around that, $4 area at this time. Let's see, $4 resistance. This is a stock that, again, doesn't really get too much attention. I'm not in on anything right now. Right now, it seems like my E-Trade platform is kind of acting up a little bit, though. Right now, I try to put a little order in on SIF, and SIF, it says you got to call in. So right now on SIF, it says you have to call in if you want to get involved with that. See, it says rejected. It says opening securities at this time cannot be available. Please contact customer service. So again, you cannot get filled on SIF right now on E-Trade if you guys want to. So SIF, you guys cannot be filled on that play. So that's a little annoying. I hate when that happens sometimes. I'm not sure why they do that. I'm going to put SIF on the top level 2 for a moment. We also have MIRM starting to get a little bit of heat. MIRM, that's going on the bottom level 2, and that one's trying to move on up as well. So we have SIF trying to hold $4, and then MIRM also trying to get a little bit of heat towards it. We're going to see if this play could get a little bit of hype. MIRM, that was the number 1 top gainer, 4 million in float, starting to pick up a little bit. So MIRM going to put that up on the top, and then we have SIF just trying to hold $4. We have MIM on the breakout scanner. High of the day momentum scanner has got some MIRM, about a 25 count right now. We do have a little bit of a nasty spread though. Right now, MIRM new high of the day up towards around $13. Does have a pretty big spread. Big spreads right now on MIRM, but it is picking on up. So now again, at MIRM all the way up towards around 368. This play is getting a little bit jumpy. This play is getting a little bit choppy at this time. A little bit jumpy on MIRM, but that one is picking on up. That's about a 25 cent, sometimes 50-cent spread towards it. MIRM and SIF are the top 2 gainers at this time. CEI not doing too much. So again, top number 1, number 2 top gainers are MIRM and SIF. How's BILL right now? BIL testing $40. So that could slowly and steadily try to make a little bit of action. MIRM is going to be looking for $15 now, most likely. Just ran up towards around $13.90. Traders are probably going to try to push this up towards around that old target of that 1530-ish mark eventually. That's probably what it, there it goes, up towards around 1450 now. 1479 so far on MIRM. People looking for that $15 target came up to 1479 so far. SIF and MIRM, this is where the mob's at. This is where the hype's at. Again, SIF we cannot buy on E-Trade, so that does hurt some volume towards that play. People did lock in some gains right there as the stock ran up towards around that $15 mark. CEI could get hot as the stock comes up towards around that 250-ish mark. I'm going to take CEI off the bottom level too, or excuse me, SIF off the bottom level too, because if I'm trading on E-Trade, I can't even get involved with that play. But which kind of sucks. But SIF right here, still trying to get a little bit of a break. It's still trying to get a little bit of a break, but it's a little bit of annoying that you can't hop in on E-Trade. That takes away a huge amount of volume that could potentially be running towards that play. Dude, definitely be wary of that. MIRM trying to hold at this moment. BILL, nothing there yet. So a lot of traders trying to get these low floats going. A lot of traders trying to get these low floats going at this time. Yep, SIF is an earnings play. As you guys can see what I talked about. Again, the volume so far, it's 336,000. The average volume is only 2,000 shares. Right? Look at the volume go. 350,000. The average volume is only 2,900. So when you see a huge increase, right? When you see a huge increase on a stock's volume today compared to its current volume or its average volume, you could see why the stocks go so hard. AXSM having a little bit of a crack. That could just be because how big it gapped up in pre-market, right? This stock was so massive in pre-market, it's kind of hard to hold those gains. ADIL trying to get a little bit of volume coming up on the breakout scanner. Good daily chart on ADIL. Nice break of the 200-day moving average with that 13 EMA. We have CEI trying to creep its way on up right now. CEI trying to creep its way on up. So again, MIRM needs to break $15. CEI needs to break $2.50. SIF needs to hold $4. BILL needs to break $40. I just want to kind of type out a little like cheat sheet for you basically right here. Little cheat sheet if you're looking for, what prices need to be broken. How's FWP? That's a good one to just keep our eyes peeled on. Maybe if FWP could ever start getting some attention. ADIL starting to get hotter though. ADIL. Yep, I know that's a $0. I'm going to correct that right there for BILL. And then ADIL also getting a little bit of hype. So again, those are all your resistance lines currently on these plays. These are all the resistance lines currently on these plays. ADIL still trying, MIRM still trying, CEI still trying to get a little bit of volume as well. FWP, that's a previous top gainer. It is set itself up in a little bit of a mid-candle breakout pattern, right? We are in a little bit of a mid-candle breakout pattern. So if FWP could ever get some volume towards it, this stock could go on a nice rip. This stock could go on a nice run, possibly back up towards around $10. Maybe a break of like 820. Things could start getting hot over there on FWP. So a little mid-candle breakout pattern. We'll keep that one on watch. CEI right now, nope, still not breaking 250. MIRM trying to bull flag a little bit of a bull flag pattern over on MIRM. Just want to be open, honest, credible. The only thing I tried to to see if I can get in was SIF, and it said rejected. It says again, you need to call customer service. So I'm not in anything. The only thing I did pull the trigger on was SIF, but you can't even get in on that play. Just want to make sure that you guys see everything that I'm doing. Right now, MIRM trying to hold itself on up. ADIL still again going for a little bit of a pop. Also, I do want to check out the float on ADIL. Check out a couple of these floats to see what's going to be getting some attention towards it. Again, traders love going after those low float plays. ADIL, this stock had a patent this morning. Not really that great. A patent press release isn't really that great. 6 million in float. We're going to check out FWP real quick. FWP, the statistics, float is what? 382,000. Yeah, that's why we like that one a lot, in case that one ever caught fire. So right now, ADIL's coming back down. That's only a patent. CEI still looking to break through 250. That's a previous top gainer of last week. MIRM was the number one top gainer this morning in pre-market. They just had an FDA meeting, right? Basically, $15 is the strong resistance line. SIF, we can't trade it if you have E-Trade, so that's going to kill a lot of volume away from that play, but I do like that chart setup. Then FWP does have a little bit of that mid-candle breakout pattern that could possibly get hot as well over on FWP. So a couple things I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled on to see if we can get any sort of attention or any sort of momentum. But right now things are still a little bit weak. AXSM, a little bit of a bounce so far. AXSM, a little bit of a bounce play. Possible red to green move could come up in the future. The possible red to green move could come up in the future, and that could get that play rather hot. My arm trying to hold. So again, right now, no entries for myself, team. Right now, no entries for myself. Looking, waiting, watching. A little bounce play on AXSM, which has been solid. ADIL spiked, which gave it all back because that's only a patent press release. CEI is having trouble breaking through that 250 mark. MIRM, it definitely has, some good volume towards it, which I do like. I do like how MIRM has some good volume. If you're saying, Deck, what do you really like? What are you really focused on? I'm definitely watching MIRM because I think if MIRM is of only 4 million in float, and the break of $15 could lead to something really big on MIRM. But at the same time, again, very no volume on this play. But I also like FWP in case that could ever break $8, just because that's a mid-candle breakout pattern setup with only 300,000 in float, which could get pretty hot as well. So I'm still, again, just kind of looking around right here. We're about 11 minutes in the market. That's nothing. 11 minutes in the market, we're good. Rapid is long over on BA if you guys are interested over there. Right now, we do have a little bit of a bull flag pattern, right? So again, right now, MIRM, we do have a little bit of a bull flag pattern. Let's see if that bull flag pattern is going to squeeze itself. Rebreak of $14. Things could get hot on that play. So a rebreak of MIRM of that $14 mark could possibly lead to a little bit of a squeeze pattern. And we're going to see if this is going to be getting any sort of attention towards it. There's not any penny stock yet that's 100% kind of the clear-cut winner. SIF, I think could have done it if E-Trade allowed it to trade. So I think SIF could have, been the play if if E-Trade allowed, traders to hop in on the stock. CEI is having a lot of trouble right now. ROYT trying to move on up. ROYT trying to get a little bit of attention. Right now, MIRM is trying to squeeze. MIRM, there's the bull flag pattern squeeze that's trying to work out. So MIRM trying to squeeze itself right here to get all the way up to $15. So again, nice bull flag pattern. That's always nice to see when we start seeing a little bit of action, start getting a little bit of activity over there. And there's again that $15 touch. So MIRM, there's that $15 touch where a lot of people usually lock in their gains. Right? So $15 MIRM, bull flag pattern, nice squeeze, nice rip. That's awesome to see. Let's see if we're going to be able to move back above $15. High of the day is exactly the $15 mark. again, watch the bids. Bids right now at 1480. We want to see the bids at 1490 and then 1495. Right now, bids are starting to get a little bit more of a drop. Right now, bids are trying to build up, get above 1475. There's $15. Now again, the stock is still moving on up. Stock is still climbing. You can see the bids still looking to push this play. Bids are currently at 1510. So anything above $15 on the bids shows strength. Anything above $15 above the bids shows strength. We don't want to be going though to 1490, 1480, 1475. We don't want to be going that low. We want to make sure we stay at the $15 area. So right now, MIRM, we got about a 15-cent spread. We want to see the bids above 1510. There's 1512, there's 1513, there's 1530, 1540, 1580. Now picking on up, MIRM, all from this bull flag pattern. Great job. All from that bull flag pattern, we got that awesome play, right? If you guys don't see the bull flag pattern, again, it's right here where this play started getting really hot. Bull flag is when the stock spikes, consolidates, and then it gets the pop. So a bull flag basically looks like what? Just exactly like a flag. So what we have right here is a nice spike. Stock is consolidating with the bull flag pattern. Next leg on up. So MIRM got a nice rip, nice pop, nice climb here, all because of that bull flag pattern. Now, what's the big news here now? The big news on MIRM, it's about to get halted, it looks like, over on MIRM. MIRM looks like it's about to get halted, and this is big. Why? Because this is a new IPO, 4 million float stock, where we are at new 52-week highs now. We are at new 52-week highs on MIRM now. And what's so big about that? Well, now the sky's the limit. Just like LMPX, right? When we hit new highs, there's nothing there to slow it down. Same exact thing with IMRN. So, or excuse me, MIRM. There's nothing to hold this play back, as you know, it's never been this high before. There's no indicators. There's no, basically a 200-day moving average holding this down, right? This is just sky's the limits now. So that is awesome to see, all from that bull flag pattern. MIRN, new 52-week highs, 4 million in float. This is where the volume is at, now halted. So nice play here over on MIRN, and this is definitely where the majority of traders are going, right? This is where the majority of traders are looking at. I'm gonna post that for you guys. You guys are all good. This should be getting unhalted in about 5 minutes, more like 4 minutes now. Most likely is going to have a little bit of a gap up. You can look for a bounce play if interested, back down towards around that $15-ish mark, which is what I may look to do right here. The stock just went on a very nice rip, very good activity, and I'm sure again we're going to see a lot of hype and a lot of action on this play, throughout the morning. This one is kind of claiming that it's the winner right now. This one is claiming that this is where the hype's going to be at. This is the one that's claiming that, you know what, if you want to make money, you have to be playing MIRM, right? So MIRM will have some, nice support back down towards around the $15 mark if you guys are looking for that possible dip buy, right? Actually, again, the stronger support line is actually at the old bull flag area, right around $14. There is going to be light support at $15, right? Let's switch this out of a 2-minute time frame. Let's go to a 1-minute time frame. It's going to be strong support back down towards around $14. So put that in the dark blue, and then light support right around this $15 mark, as that's the light blue. So if you're looking for a bounce play, you have like $14.10 or $15 if that stock does start coming back on down. Let's also add the VWAP, as the VWAP is going to be a nice indicator to know where the stock could possibly bounce at, and that's right along that $14 mark as well. All right, so this play definitely has some nice potential to be able to make some nice profit on it. Let's see where this opens up at over on MIRM. MIRM got halted, as you guys see on the hold scanner, 945. You can look for an entry right out of the gates or a bounce play back on down. They got halted at 945. This means it should get unhalted, guys, in about a minute 30. About a minute 30 is when MIRM is getting unhalted. I know some people look at bids are all the way up towards around $17, 16. I think we're gonna gap up at least. I think we're gapping up towards like 16.20. Right now the bids are all the way up towards like 16.85. So again, realistic gap up, I would say up towards around that like 16.20ish mark. Strong support is at VWAP and the dark blue line, which is around 14 bucks. Then we have light support around $15. Right now, MRM should come out. It's going to be coming out live in 20 seconds. You guys know me. If I'm hopping on this play, it's going to be on a bounce. Awesome again. Bull flag pattern, though. Did absolutely awesome right there. So right now, MRM coming out. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. MIRM should have a nice gap up. Looks like it's going up towards 1650. All right, we're live. 1650 exactly. 1650 exactly right here. MIRM, let's see if this thing can hold. Let's see if this bad boy's going to be able to hold on up. Right now, it's trying to stay above the $16 mark. Get that good action. Get that good activity towards it. MIRM looking for that $17 break. We have 2 levels of support, $15 and all the way back down towards on $14.10. Right now, it is pushing, though. A little bit of a tough area right here. A little bit more weakness than strength. Again, just looking at the level 2. Level 2, you want to see 1650 go. The lower you get down to $16, the weaker it gets. Right on the bids, we want to see the bids above 1650 if you're looking for that $17 break. Here's a little push again. Let's see. Right now, bids are dropping a little bit. $16 holding on. Now again, back down to 15. Again, I want a bounce play. If I hop in on this play, I'm going to get a bounce play probably close to this blue line. Maybe not exactly at that blue line, but close to that blue line if we get a nice, a little drop right here. Right now, MIRM just trying to hold up that $16 mark. MIRM getting a little bit of a drop here. Just trying to hold up that $16 mark at this time over on MIRM. A little bit weaker. Again, we can definitely get a nice bounce play, as this is where a lot of the action is currently at. This is where a lot of the action's currently at. So if the stock does fall, we can get a nice bounce, but it's still fighting that $16 area. Not giving up yet. Bids are currently down towards 1605. The ask is all the way up towards around 1630. Right now, bids are slowly moving on up. You got to see a 1650 break on the bids for, that kind of nice pop, good activity. Right now, bids keep dropping down towards around $15. And if that does keep happening, that's where we'll see our pullback soon. Right now, again, just watching that level 2. It's not too crazy. It's not the craziest play in the world at this time. Right now, bids are trying to push on up again. 1622. Let's see if they can go to 1640. There you go. 1640. That was good. 16. Got to push here. Bids have got to push if they want it. The ask is at 1650. Bids have got to take that out. Here's their chance right there. There you go. So again, that's the biggest pop we've seen MIRM up towards 1725 now. So we're still seeing this play, get some good volume, some good action over on MIRM. I'm just watching the chart, watching the level 2. Bids again need to hold 1650, which it should because 1650 was an old resistance line. Since old resistance is now broken, what do we know? We know again we're going to be above it. So again, that old resistance turns into new support. So 1650, since that was a strong resistance line, that's going to hold up as a nice support line. Will's Trading Adventure, not a bad line as well. That 1550 mark, I definitely understand that. Right now, again, the stock is still moving on up, breaking that through that $17 mark. I'll put everything back to kind of normal right here. Right now, that $17 is right around that top. As I said, this is definitely the most active play currently. This is definitely the most active play at this time. 100% the most active play at this time. Right now we can definitely look for a bounce play because so many people are looking at this stock. If it does have a strong pullback, there's definitely going to be traders that are going to try to bounce it as well. So we'll be able to make money regardless if we can get a good entry. Rapids looking more towards around that 1475 bounce area. Nice area for sure. So right now, MIRM, hottest place so far today. Haven't seen many other plays. We've been seeing a lot of mid cap plays lately, right? A lot of these mid cap plays have kind of been the best ones lately. Right now, just kind of looking to see if anything else is coming on up, but it's really the MIRM party. It's the MIRM party right now. How's AXSM? That stock holding? AXSM just had too big of a gap up. A lot of traders locking in their profits from that big gap up. Right now, MIRM's still where most people are at. So MIRM, new high of the day. A new high of the day so far. People still again looking to push that play on up. Every time again it has a little bit of a pullback, gets a little bit of a pop back on up. $17 still holding up as resistance though. $17. How's our IPOs? BILL, not really anything. LMPX. LMPX, red. Here's your red candle today on LMPX. So BIL, nothing. LMPX, nothing. Our IPO of MIRM is the best one so far. Best one so far over on MIRM. Right now, $17 is trying to hold up as the support line. Right? $17 is trying to hold up as the support line. And why is it trying to hold up as support? Well, because that was old resistance. And since that was an old resistance line, that holds up as new support. Right now, MIRM is just being a beast. Right now, MIRM, I know it's tricky to get involved with this play because how high it's going now, but it keeps breaking resistance, turns that resistance into support. Now $18, here we come. $18 resistance is next. Here's $18 resistance. Let's see if we can break it. So far, we touched it exactly. We're going to see if we can break through $18 resistance. Does have a lot of support at this point now. Back down towards around 1550. 1550 seems like it's, the best support line at this time, as that's all the way back down towards around the VWAP. And also, again, some old bounce plays. Stock so far, again, has just been able to continue to move on up. And looks like we're about to get another halt. So MIRM, another halt, another rip. I mean, yeah, this thing is just, still going at this point over on MIRM. Still going. And yeah, again, unfortunately, we have not seen that pullback. I mean, you could say, unfortunately, we have not seen that pullback, or you could say, Deck, not unfortunately, this thing is just still going, right? So, still another big climb on this play. So far, we have gone on MIRM from $11 all the way up towards around $19. The play is continuing to climb here. I was looking for two different bounce play areas on MIRM, but obviously the stock never came back down for a bounce. So again, I had one order that got rejected because you can't play SIF, and I had two bounce plays that I canceled because they're just not coming down to those areas. So far, MIRM still just going, right? MIRM still just going. MIRM still, ripping, still popping at this time. And this is all the way up towards around that 1882 mark, which is absolutely huge. Shout out again. You guys in on this play, killing it. Awesome work. You guys in on MIRN at $18. Hey, I know it's a little bit of a chase, but you're up in money. So, if you bought in on MIRM at $16, $17, $18, is that a little bit of a chase kind of textbook wise? Yes. But who cares at this moment? You're killing it. So again, enjoy your profits, enjoy what you're seeing right here. MIRM, awesome work, awesome play. What would be the next main resistance line? The next main resistance line on the stock really would be what? $20, right? $20 is the next big play on this stock. So this thing is still, again, continuing to move on up, and this is a great way to kick off a Monday. And why is it so great to kick off a Monday like this? Well, because this sets the tone, right? If you have a hot Monday, right? If you have the hot first day of the week, traders for the rest of the week are going to be excited, right? People are going to be excited the rest of the week, right? Imagine you open up a business, right? Let's say you open up a restaurant, and on the grand opening, you go and you have the best food you ever had on the first day it was open. Well, that sets a good, tone in your head that says, hey, when I go to that restaurant, I know I'm going to have good food. But imagine if you went to that restaurant the very first day it opened and it was really bad food. Well, you'd be a lot more hesitant from going back to that place, right? So how can we compare that to the stock market right here on penny stocks? Well, if everyone's seeing, oh wow, we have a great spike today. We have an $8, $9 spike so far on the first day of the week. People are going to be, coming back to the penny stock world the rest of the week because this is very good food, right? Very good profits right here. So yeah, so good job, MIRM. Awesome work. Yeah, it's definitely, MIRM. MIRM, let's, take a second. If you're wondering to yourself and saying, Deck, why is MIRM up this high? If you're saying to yourself, Deck, why is MIRM, doing this? Is, this press release really that great? Where it says we complete a successful meeting with the FDA, right? Is that really that great? No, again, the meeting isn't really what's moving MIRM, right? The meeting's not isn't what's moving MIRM. What's really moving MIRM is just everyone buying it, right? The 4 million in float, the volume, everyone hopping in on this play, the fact that the stock's only 6 months old. These are the reasons why it's really moving it. MIRM, the press release this morning just got people to look at that play. So again, don't be like, oh, okay, whenever we have a meeting, we're going to see a giant spike. There's, other factors which led to MIRM spiking this hard. It's more, again, about MIRM that a lot of traders are just saying, hey, this is the play of the day, so I want to get involved with it. So MRM got halted at what time? 9:59. We should be getting unhalted, guys. MIRM, 5 seconds. MIRM coming out. Couple seconds right here. All eyes on MIRM. And what do we see? $19, 1918 new high. VWAP area is all the way back down to 15 bucks so far. So while everyone is, yes, running over to MIRM, VWAP area is all the way back down to 15 bucks. There's the $20 target. There's the $20 target so far on MIRM. And let's see, even maybe possible short, a little scary short, right? Definitely a scary short, absolutely. But, imagine if you could, get some shorts on this play, right? You could definitely make some nice money. So if you're ever interested, $20 short could definitely be profitable if that holds up as that top area. Let's see though. Here it comes. MIRM still trying. $20 is going to be tough though. You might say, Deck, you just broke 20 bucks. It's going to be tough. Trust me. $20 is not an easy area to stay above. I mean, this thing has been moving very, very well. Let's see if it's going to be able to hold 20 bucks. You can really just watch it on the level 2. Really just watch, again, the bids trying to hold 20 bucks on the level 2. Right now, here's 20. 20 again. Bids are trying to hold it. Bids are trying to hold it. They're doing well so far. Now, again, all the way up towards around 21. So, it's still breaking. I mean, MIRM right now. Yes, you're chasing if you get in. But at the same time, this thing is not stopping. It's one of those plays that it's a little frustrating because it just keeps on going, right? It's like one of those plays that you're like, oh my gosh, I know I shouldn't be getting in on a play this high, but I just can't resist it. It's one of those plays, I know. So right now, MIRM, still moving on up, still hitting new highs, 2157, 2174. And it's one of those plays that just keeps on going as it's all buying momentum right now. Basically our support line's all the way down towards around $17 at this point, or VWAP all the way down towards around 15 bucks. But right now this thing is still moving, still ripping, still running, and MIRM is where everyone is currently focused on, 100%. And we really have not seen any sort of strong pullback yet either, which is kind of what I've been looking at. Just any sort of strong pullback, as you should be able to get a few dollar bounce on this play. So right now, it's trying to hold up that $21 mark, $21 area. MIRM, again, high of the day is 22.19. Starting to get a little bit weaker, but hey, we cannot question the power of MIRM, right? Right now, it's trying to hold up that $20 support line. So right now, it's trying to hold up that $20 support line. We'll see if that is going to be able to hold on up. $20 support starting to come back on down, getting a little bit of a test. Again, we do have support at a couple different areas, right? Everyone look at the live stream. We are going to have support at the old Holt area, right? The old Holt area, right towards around this 1882 mark on MIRM. So 1882 old Holt area. And then also all the way back down here towards around like 1675, which was an area of where this stock, had a little consolidation. Chad looking for a short. Chad Nystrom, great shorter. They're looking for a short on that play right now.
especially if that cracks $20. That's where you're going to be looking pretty good. But $20 may hold up as a little bit of support line. Two bounce areas. Old Holt area right now of 1882, right? That's light support. And then again, all the old consolidation back down towards around that like 1675-ish mark would be the stronger support areas. Another period of consolidation for MIRM. How many periods of consolidation have we seen so far? We've had this period of consolidation, right? And what happened here? It led to a breakout. And then we had this period of consolidation, right? And this led to a breakout. So we've had two periods of consolidation so far where, again, the stock spikes, holds its gains, basically gets a little bit of a water break, and then shoots back on up. That's what consolidation is. It's just where the stock, allows people to get off the bus, right? So what do I mean by that? A lot of the times, guys, when stocks go straight up, that's where they have the most vicious dumps. So, but if we have a stock that does what? If we have a stock that basically shoots on up, right? Shoots on up, has a period for people to get out if they want to, then it can move on up. Has a period where people can get out if they want to, then it can move on up. Right now, it's having that period where people can get out if they want to, and it potentially from here can start spiking it on up. Right? Think about it this way. Think about it this way. Imagine if there was a bus route, right? And we have this bus that goes down this road right here. And this bus has different stops, right? And the stops are A, right? B, C, and D. And as this bus goes, what happens? We go to A, some people get on out. Then it progresses to B, right? And then some people get on out. And then the stock progresses to C, and so on and so forth. And each stop, people get on out, right? Now, imagine what would happen if the bus didn't stop at A, B, C, or D. And what did it do? It just went straight from A to D. Well, since we didn't stop from B to C, what happens? Now again, people have to come out of D, C, B, and walk all the way back down to A. So what does this kind of show us? Well, if the stock again shoots on up, right, or if the bus goes all the way on up, and we don't have any room of basically letting people off the bus, everyone gets off on the top. That changes all of momentum. If the stock, if the bus can consolidate, which goes on up, lets people out, goes on up, lets people out, goes on up, lets people out, it has a better chance of holding its gains, right? But going straight up and then everyone getting out at the same time leads to a dumping. Going up a little bit, allowing people to get out who want to, but it can still hold, that leads to more consistency. Okay? So MIRM right now. Again, here's another period of consolidation where the stock is again consolidating. People are getting out if they want to. And then people say, all right, is everyone out who wants to get out of this play? Yep, we're all good. All right, all aboard, full steam ahead. And then the stock looks for its next leg, right? So right now, MIRM, we're looking to see if this play is going to be able to continue to move on up, or is the bus running out of gas? Currently, MIRM is up 159%. Right now, again, a little bit of a drop. I think we may be having our first pullback soon. And we may actually get halted on the sell side. Nope, still alive, still alive. I thought it was going to drop for a second. Here is the first possible bounce play. Here's the first possible bounce play, which was the old Holt area. MIRM also has that VWAP at 1750, so we had the first possible bounce play at 1882. 1882, VWAP's at 1775, and then 1674.
all these different areas of a possible bounce. It's hard to again figure out which one is going to be the best bounce play. Right? It's not easy. It's not easy to figure out, which one is going to be that best bounce play. Right now, 1882 is the first one trying to hold on up here. Let's give it a little bit of time. Trying to hold on up on this first, bounce play area. VWAP on MIRM right now is currently right around that 1750-ish mark. Currently right around 1750 is its first area of a possible bounce. Or, excuse me, on the VWAP bounce, if you guys are interested on that, for that VWAP bounce. Nice move so far. A little bit of a bounce play off that 1882 mark. Let's see how low this thing is going to go down to. Again, VWAP is currently around that 1750-ish mark. Support, down towards around 17 and 1680. Right now, it's trying to hold up, a little bit. And that's the old Holt area that's currently bouncing at. Old Holt area that's currently looking to bounce at right now. Stock's getting a little bit weaker. Starting to get a little bit weaker here. I'm going to be looking probably low 17s. Low 17s is what I'm going to look at if I can get a possible bounce play on this stock. So if I can get a bounce play on the stock, I'm probably looking at low 17s. Right now, stock's still dropping. 1860. I want about another dollar or so. Another dollar or so is what I'm looking at on MIRM. Because a lot of times, the stock may just um, might crack the VWAP just for like a moment. So I don't like putting it right at the VWAP. I like kind of look for an entry like right below the VWAP because sometimes you do get a little bit of a crack below the VWAP, especially on these big top gainers before we can hold back on up. That's why I want to see if we're going to be able to. It's going to get a little bit of a crack. It is going through that 1882 mark. I'm going to get rid of that 1882 light blue line. Had a little bit of a bounce play. Had a little bit of a bounce play. Right now, again, the VWAP and that dark blue line are kind of the two areas. Right here, MIRM still holding on up though. Still holding. And a good job if you guys had a short. I apologize about the little coughs I have in and out. My roommate is like dead sick and he has to stay here all the time, so might be slowly getting infected. I feel like infected's a bad word. Right now though, MIRM watching for this play to hold on up and get that nice bounce at the good areas and be able to make some money from there. E21 Hana, I rarely take sick days. Again, I rarely miss any days. If there's 300 days in the stock market, how many days do I actually miss? Maybe 5 throughout the whole entire year, and that's been for like the last 5 years now. I think the longest I ever missed ever was like 5 days, and that was when I went on a trip. But that is very, very rare. I'm always here. Right now, I'm keeping my eyes peeled on this play and just still watching for a little bit of that drop. Good job again, the traders who made some nice cash. I know again, shout out to you guys over here. Profits chat. What do we have? Cal Kid, 156 bucks. Wall Street Trading Adventure, 306 bucks. M's Trade, 600 bucks. Rocket, 78 bucks. El Padre, 220 bucks. $20 profit, one Mr. Co. Scotty, 169 bucks. JB Trader, 937 bucks. Just again, some nice profits over there. Good job, people pulling the trigger, getting in on these plays. MIRM so far, a little bit of a U shape right around that 1850 mark. Still trying to hold on up. Still holding on up. Has not dumped on off yet by any means. Still holding at this moment. And if you guys have any questions on MIRM, please let me know. I just want to see if this thing is going to drop. That's why I'm just kind of staring at the stock right now. But we will be doing a full recap on this trade. I just want to be, again, doing a full recap on this play after, after I get a trade in on it. That's what I'm looking for. A nice little trade on this play first. Right now it's getting a little bit weaker, so I just want to get a nice little bounce play. That's really all I'm looking for. Nice little bounce play on the stock. So here comes a little bit more of a drop. So here comes a little bit more of a drop. Let's see if it cracks 1850. So again, we want that 1840 crack. So I want to see a little bit of that drop. Come down towards around that VWAP, maybe go a little bit lower than the VWAP, get filled, then again, pop back on up. So that's what I'm really looking for, and it's just a little bit of patience now. So I think we get a little bit of the drop right here, come a little bit below that VWAP area, get filled on that VWAP area, crack, and then it pops right back on up. That's the game plan I'm looking for. SPY come up to some new highs, all the way up towards around 1320 now. SPY all the way up towards around 1320. Hot penny market today. SPY hitting some new highs. So that's awesome to see. A lot of cool stuff right here. So MIRM hit, going on a nice big break today. SPY hitting brand new record highs. Right now, again, don't really want to take my eyes off of MIRM at this time. How are the markets doing though? Let's just see right here. Markets currently, Dow is up almost 200 points. Nasdaq's up almost 100 points. The S&P 500 is just above 25 points at this time. So we are having, again, very solid green day. We made a phase one China trade deal. And that's why, again, right here we are seeing the markets have a nice little move on up, gap up, and a nice little move on up. Right now, MIRM is still just holding. Come on, MIRM. No drop yet still. No drop yet still on this play. There's still no drop. That means we still can't get involved with this thing just yet because, we don't want to be buying up at those highs. It is building some higher lows. Let's see. Where is, the main support? We got support at 1750.
We also have support at $17 and like 16.75-ish area. So a couple different marks right here on on MIRM. And I just want, again, since I didn't trade, I just want to nail it. That's all. So again, that's why I'm just trying to nail this thing, be able to make some nice profit on this play. But it's still holding right now. Still holding. And it's not even like we've had a big bounce play yet, right? It's not like it came on down and we had a nice big bounce play yet. It's more just fallen and kind of consolidated on, on the bottom right now. So I'm looking for this to drop and then to get a bounce play. As I say, if you make $400 on the spike on up, that's great. That's awesome. If you make $400 on the bounce play, though, that's the same exact thing as if you bought it on the spike on up, right? Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter if you get it on the way up or if you get it on the bounce play. You're still getting paid the same amount. If you make money in the first, 10 minutes of the market, that's absolutely awesome. If you make money in the last 10 minutes of the market, it's absolutely awesome. No matter what, profit's profit, right? So again, right now, stock is looking all the way up towards around that $20 mark. $20 is going to be our main resistance. Let's go into a little bit of a recap right now on MIRM. Let's make sure you guys have a full understanding